James Bond.
Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time. Humans sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. That's hysteria. Wow. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Hey you anime lovers, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host as always, Jay Schatzer. And today I have an animated classic lined up for us. It is Gerald Potterton's 1981 just crazy ass animated flick. It is Heavy Metal, and this one is just filled with so much madness you won't be able to take it. Let's just dive into the chaos right now. Here is Heavy Metal. Heavy Metal is a rocking animated feature inspired by the popular American magazine Heavy Metal and the French magazine Metal Hurlant. Famous for creating wild and adventurous stories mostly consisting of madcap violence and bountifully scantily clad babes, this animated iteration sticks to its roots, showcasing all of the elements that made the original publication so damn successful. Drenched in sci-fi fantasy horror, Heavy Metal is an explosive experience that takes you to a universe filled with mystery, magic, sexual fantasies, and awesome adventures. The film centers around a glowing green orb named the Lochnar, who terrorizes a young girl with tales of horror and dark fantasy, all boasting the ill effects that it has had on its users over the years. Told through 6 short stories outside of the main introduction, entitled Harry Canyon, Den, Captain Stern, B-17, So Beautiful and So Dangerous, and Tarna. Each story is as interesting as the next, throwing the viewer into a whirlwind of fantastic realms and unbridled adventures, all laced with that special heavy metal style. The first story, called Harry Canyon, revolves around a New York City cab driver in the year 2031, who comes across a sultry young woman and the famed Lochnar orb. Cast in a futuristic film noir style, the entry excels in culling from the genre, with its seedy criminal underbelly and ambiguous characters, all vying for the prize of the orb. With its expressive visual style and interesting narrative, borrowed heavily from French artist Moebius's unique artistry, this intricate little tale went on to inspire Luc Besson when creating The Fifth Element. As one of my favorite stories within this outstanding anthology feature film, it's a great way to start out this remarkable flick. Next up is the short story Den, which follows a young nerd voiced by John Candy, who is surprisingly transported to another world by the powers of the Lochnar. During the process, he is transformed into a muscle-bound hero, who runs afoul of a nefarious plot, and rescues a buxom beauty doomed to serve as a sacrifice to a mad-with-power woman who wants to possess the Lochnar for herself. Crafted in full-blown fantasy style, the story injects a great deal of erotic moments and violence-infused sequences, making for a lambasted, lush concoction that highly entertains in its overtly robust approach and taboo-encrusted flavor. Story number 3 centers around an infamous space captain named Lincoln F. Stern, who is put on trial aboard a space station for serious charges of rape, murder, and everything in between. After paying an unusually timid man named Hanover Fist to testify for him, things go wildly out of control as Hanover transforms into a larger-than-life behemoth with mood swings, and goes on a brutish rampage throughout the space station thanks to the Lochnar. Laid out in out-of-control comedic style, this particular entry of the anthology is good, clean, weird fun. Next up is the 4th entry entitled B-17, featuring a World War II period piece centered around a B-17 bomber pilot. After his entire crew is wiped out by enemy gunfire, the Lochnar appears and reanimates all of his buddies' corpses, changing them into decrepit, ravenous zombies. Forced to evacuate the plane, he ends up on a tropical island which serves as a graveyard for downed airplanes, and home to an endless series of zombified airmen. This entry is particularly entertaining, as it injects the film with a heavy dose of undead horror that would sit nicely next to George Romero's Haunting Zombies series. The fifth tale of this wild anthology feature is called So Beautiful and So Dangerous. Being the most unusual of the stories, it really has no congruent narrative at all. The entry follows a beautiful buxom stenographer working at the Pentagon, who is abducted by space aliens and taken aboard their ship. While there, she interacts with the pilot and co-pilot of the ship, and then has sexual relations with a wisecracking robot, once again voiced by John Candy. Strange to say the least, the non-existent structure of the story is a weird one, but still highly enjoyable. Rounding out the anthology series is the epic tale Tarna. After the Lochnar crash lands on a savage world, the inhabitants near the crash site are transformed into barbarous mutants, hell-bent on destroying the world. The only one that can stop this unruly horde is a strong and beautiful young woman named Tarna, a Tarakian warrior who is destined to save humanity. Out of all the stories, this one is the most in-depth and fleshed out, as it calls from the vivid stylings of Moebius's outstanding French graphic novel Arzach. Beautifully rendered and expertly crafted, Tarna puts a wonderful bookend on this most classic of animated features. When it's all said and done, Heavy Metal is a vivacious and awe-inspiring animated masterpiece, supercharged with a rocking soundtrack and equally expressive visual mastery. Enjoyable to the very last story, the production is a proverbial kaleidoscope of unimaginable wonders, all laced in a vivid package that celebrates its overabundantly graphic nature and sexually charged content. Outstandingly visceral, this is one animated feature that truly has it all. If you're looking for something that's ridiculously sleazy and a whole hell of a lot of fun, then give this one a shot. It's got the goods and then some. In the end, Heavy Metal is an outrageously delicious animated masterpiece with a hard-edged bite. And there you have it, ladies and gents, the outrageously crazy animated feature, Heavy Metal. Just outrageous, like I said. Just completely, truly outrageous. Well, you saw the visuals. One of my favorites. I love it, and it's just boundless in its craziness. But guys, that's it for me today. Hope you enjoyed that one, and I hope you like what I'm doing here. If you do, please like and subscribe. And if you have time, leave a comment below because I'd love to hear from you. But until then, I will see you at the next movie review. Take care.